Hi everyone, this is Mr. Fusion Designs and welcome to our channel. Today we are doing a build from Fanhome. It is build the legendary 1989 Batmobile Pack 2. So as you can see, we are doing Pack 2 issues 3, 4 and 5. We do have a CR 2032 battery, and I will show you this in a minute. Let's just move these out the way. And I found out how to identify the boxes. Now this is 4, so right at the end you'll see 04, so that is issue 4 for parts. And you can see here 03, so this is the first box we need for our issue. I'm just going to move these out the way also. You can see this is 05, and that's the battery. But today, even that looks amazing. I'm not sure what's behind, nothing. So we're just going to open this up. And you can see this amazing poster that we have. It is Batman 1989. We have the logo of Batman from 1989 and this landscape picture of the Batmobile from 1989. So this is a great collection which will go up on my wall. So we're gonna put these to the side at the moment. So let's take a look at magazine from issue 3. And we can see Michael Keaton there. These magazines are actually great. So reactor exhaust. So this looks like a fun pack. So we need to get all these parts together, and that is the final result. So you can see the direction where these need to go. I really do like these magazines because it's kind of a comic book feeling. So let's get on with this. So as I said, we can identify which box through the end of the serial numbers. So this is 03. So let's just open up this package to see what is inside. And as usual, they are very well packaged. Everything is there, and let's just move all these out the way. So I'm going to open these up and we will start our build. First thing, we need this part, so let's just open that up. And now these parts, just tip these all out. And we will need to position these so this way up, and these will actually go, there is like a key shape hole that will be able to locate these pins. Hopefully they won't be too tight, they're not too bad. Just don't want to push that all the way through just yet. Just position these, and I guess we can push it as tight as possible. And we have this one. There we go. Perhaps we can go here. And you can see the pattern of the key shapes. is as easy as that. You can glue these from the back, that way it has a cleaner look. But for now, let's just leave them in as this, and if needed, you can glue these. What I might do, I used to put some resin just to hold things in place, and it's much easier to remove if needed. So those are all now pushed in, and that's how that should look. Now we have these parts, so let's open these up, and hopefully we can get these out. Yeah, it should be fine. And let's just see what these are. These are actually metal. Wow, didn't expect that. So with this part facing this way, it needs to go outwards. So this just pushes in. That's a little bit tight, but there you go. So all of these need to be just pushed in. It's very sharp, so be careful. I think let's place them and get some kind of towel. That way you won't damage your finger, which that is much easier. Doesn't hurt too. So just get them like that. Push these in place. Makes it a lot more safer. There we go. One more. Oh, this one has to be the last one. There we go. Excellent. That looks amazing already. Wow. Like that. So we need to get over a next part. So this part, let's just open this up and take this out. There we go. With that, we need B screws. Just need one of these. So let's just take one of these out. Get it ready. And let's just make sure which way this actually goes. So, this is a little bit confusing. So this will need to go. Let me just show you. So in there you can see these two well, what would you call them? Position that you can see it goes flat against it. So that should make it a lot more easier. So it goes with this point sticking upwards, and these I believe will be in this position. So just like that. And making sure that is correct. So we need to take that over. Maybe not. Maybe these needs to go in that position, I believe now. So when you do push it into this position, you will see this hole from the top, just like that. So we need to screw this now in place with a B screw, a little bit fiddly, straight down here. Don't over tighten it, just enough until it holds, and that should be fine. So we need to get this now onto our part. So we have this part what we was working on. So I believe it just pushes in and it clips. So this way round, And just making sure that it is lined up just there. A little bit fiddly because you can't really get, I don't really want to push that. I think maybe to actually push this in first and then screw it. I think that would be a lot easier, because I don't really want to push this down and then snap it. Let's see what a tweezer, if that will help to get that in. There we go. That was a lot easier doing it that way. So just like that, and push it all the way. And it looks to be fine. Maybe a little bit more needed. Let's get this. And maybe we could do it like that. Just position it in the angle it needs to go in. There we go, perfect. And that is now installed. Looking great. So just to give you an idea, just in case you might struggle, I left it in real time. So let's move over to our next part. So here is our next part. Let's open this up. Very well packaged. That is metal. I can feel the weight of that. So let's just open that. Wow, paintwork is amazing. I like that. That's nice. So next we need to get this now onto our part we have been working on. I could see 3 points, which this top one will go into that location. So just like this, it just pushes on. Looking good, isn't it? This one's a bit tougher. Don't really want to damage anything, so that's why I'm taking my time really doing this. Because it's metal, quite difficult to bend. And let's try and get this pushed in. That's a bit difficult. Just making sure before I do push that in, that is correct. I don't want to really take it out. So, did that go in? Yep, that went in. Oops. Excellent. Like that a lot. So now these parts need to open up. This is an enjoyable issue. So perhaps we could go to this camera now. So it is key shaped, as you can see. And it's as easy as getting it into the locations, just like that. But we need first 4 B screws. So let's just get our screws ready. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Usually you have 1 spare. So where are we? Oops, it's quite heavy and it makes you drop it. But okay, just let's get this right now. Wow, sorry about that. And get this screwed from the rear. Sorry about this. There we go. So that's the first one. So I'm gonna get all of these in. Excellent. So that's all of them now in place. I think there is a bit of a tricky part now. So it is these. Let's just take them out. Hopefully it's not too tricky, but we will see. There we go. So these, we will try and see if we can position these in place first. It needs to be pointing like that, and hopefully these just push in. It does. Excellent. So you can push these in all the way and do the same on all four. So I'm gonna get these pushed in, and I won't be too long, and I'll be back. And that is the last one. So the easiest, I guess, there is a small like location pin there that just point each one towards the down position, and that looks great. And I think we got just one more part to fit, and that is these parts. Again, let's open it up, take them out. These look metal also. They are. So there's 4 of these, and it needs to be pushed in to this direction, and that will go just there. I don't really want to push these with my finger because it is quite sharp. Bit of sandpaper there, and let's get this lined up and push in place. I think that's all they go into. So let's see the next one. I think they're just slightly pushing. So that's all of them now pressed in place. And that brings us to the end of this issue. That looks great. Really like how that looks. So let's move over to our next one. This is issue 4. Issue 3 was a lot of fun. There he is, the Joker. I absolutely love this film. It was great. Oh wow, dashboard and steering wheel. So I'm gonna hopefully surprise you. I will try to do the modification on this video. If not, it will be on another one, but we will see. Hopefully you will stick around to view that. So that's the final result. More comic book scenes. Excellent. Can't wait to do this one. Wow. So this is the box, as I said, 04. Let's open this up. That was a lot easier. I can't wait for this. I really hope it's possible to do what I want to do. Wow. This is gonna be amazing. And that is metal. Wow. So a lot of gauges, which looks good. So that's, I don't think that's transparent. Let me just see. No. So these actual dials won't illuminate, because that's what I was looking at. I wonder. Okay, that is the test board, isn't it? And with the LEDs. A lot of detail on this, isn't it? Wow. I love it. My goodness. That's great. So let's just take this all out. These are all the parts. It's a lot of parts. These screws. Switches. And there we are. That's the... Well, let's see what we could do with that. I'm hoping, anyways. And we will find out with this pack, if it does. So I believe what we need is these two for now, the steering wheel. And I could see these parts straight away. I know that's incorrect. And I will explain why, but let's get these out the way for now. So is that metal? It is metal, but quite light metal, not like the other steering wheels. I'm gonna save these bags. These are quite good for storing screws or whatever. And let's take out, oh my goodness, there she is. There's the housing. So I need to take a look at that. But let's put this to the side for now. So with this, you can see the, oh, let's go here. With that, you can see the bat emblem. That should be black, but the rest should be silver, because on the original car, when you put that on, this is a silver color, and I don't really like the way that looks there. So you have to excuse me, I will be back. I'm not leaving mines like that. I'm going to modify this and get it screen accurate. So I'll be back. So I am back, and I had to wait 1 day for everything to dry for a modification I have done on the steering wheel. And first I will put this one together, and then I will show you how my modification is. So you can see it is in that direction. It just slots in from the back, and then this front will go in this direction. So that direction. This is incorrect, and I will show you why. But you will line this up, push that together, and that's how that looks. But I will show you now what I have done, and let's just disassemble that for a second. And I have done this, so let's just show you that. And it came out quite good. Can't really go close. It's not. There we go. And sorry, that way up. And I'm gonna show you why I have done that. Now on to, so I believe on referencing it should be like this and not that. So that's the reason why I've done that. And I'm gonna put this on and I'll be back with you. So that's how it looks now. So according to referencing, I think that doesn't look too bad at all. So it looks a lot better, I think, than that. So I think that should be the way it should. So I'm happy with that. So that's that part completed. Let's move over now to the next one. So we have our dashboard, which I can't wait to reveal. I have put gloves on, and I'm going to see if this will help with the fingerprints and all sorts. I'm going to, oops. Okay, no, that's fine. I thought there was a massive scratch on that. So, okay. So, let's get, I think we're okay. We could put this there. So we need this part. And it is the LED strips. And we do have a test board with this pack. And we will put this battery that came with this pack in this location. And test our lights once it's fully installed. So first thing, you have to be quite delicate with this, and this is the order that this will go, and Just be very careful with these terminals. So far they look okay, but we're going to start with this, and you can see two holes. The screw go here and the post will go in the small one, so you will be able to line this up. And with gloves it makes it even more difficult. So I made it a little bit more difficult for myself, but we will get there. And that will need to be screwed in with E-screws. So let's just go here and open up this pack. So I have E-screw ready. Line up the LED strip, and just here, hopefully you can see, I did have it lined up. Me trying to show you how to get this exactly in position. Let's try upside down, that might be slightly easier. And there we go. And right there we go the screw. Don't overscrew this. That's enough until it bites. And I think there we go. Excellent. So next one, which is, you would think it goes here, but it doesn't. It goes literally down below. And I guess we can. We don't want these screw holes. What I think would be quite good advice is to tape these wires down, which I probably will be doing, and getting this, just seeing where that goes in this location, which is a bit fiddly now. So I'm gonna get this one in and I'll be back with you, because it will take me a bit of time and I do not want to hold you up. So I managed to get that screwed in and it seems to be fine. It's a bit difficult because it's quite a tight space, but once it's there, it's not too bad at all. Now we will continue with the next light following. So you just line it up and push it into the post, as you've seen. Hold that there for a second. Get our screw and get this secured. There we go. Perfect. I'm not screwing these down at all tight. Get our next screw ready. And get this in place also. There is just one of these locations where the screw goes, so hopefully you are able to see, and that will go just like this. So let's just screw this down and I think we're good. So excellent. So this cable will go through this slot, and I'm probably going to tighten this down a bit more, but we need one more part, so I'll be back with you. Okay, so let's bring over our dash. I did put a bit of tape on the cables just to secure them, not to get any wires caught up in the locations. So hopefully we will see a mod from Mike Lane soon, but I'm planning to do something with this, so hopefully in this video it will be seen. So with the D screw, this has to go a little bit in the angle, I believe. Just like this. This will go here like that. And then we need this part. And this will lock in the corner. And let's see how this will go. And I believe I have to be careful with this cable. Just making sure. How would this go? Let's go like that. I think so, yeah. So just like that. And this will just lock in. And then we need to get another D-screw from the rear of this. So I'll get that ready. I'm just going to do these parts for now, because then after we need to put a lot of pieces together to our dashboard. But I'm just showing you how you would do this. So that's these two now put together. And I guess right now would be a good chance to test our I will fix that. But to test our board. So we have a battery pack. So I'll open this up. Let's just pop this out. It's a lot more difficult with gloves. So with this battery in this direction, and with that same LED, this should just pop in, making sure it is the correct direction. Goodness me. Oh no, sorry, it's this direction. And there we go. They work absolutely fine. So I'm going to get this to the side because we have a lot more now to build. So we are going to work on some other parts now. I believe it's this one we need. So I'm going to try get this as organized as possible. We need some silver parts and they are in this bag. So let's try and find, I believe it's this one, my first choice. And this one, there's like a little one. So I'm gonna just keep everything in its bag. That way it's more organized for me anyways. And we need a black one, which is here, should be here, I'm hoping. So we need to find that. It could be this one. Yep. So it's not that bad actually. It's quite easy to identify. I thought this would be quite difficult to identify, but so far so good. So just put these to the side for now. And first one, we will need to get this in. Is this better? Perhaps. So that's the part. And we need to turn this over. And with this, in this direction, this will need to go, I believe, one here and one there. And you do need to push these very firmly in. And they are quite tight. So you need to push them all the way through. So that's okay. Just like that. That's the first one. Now this second one with this curve, I believe it goes to the top, just here. And again, push all the way. That's good. And now this one. And I think this should be with the little kink out of it towards the bottom. And we need to push that in as far as possible. So that's them. So we need some more black parts, perhaps, and red parts. So that's this one. I'm gonna keep these out the bag. And we need a black part, which we need to find, and it is, where is it? It's not here. Oh, there it is. So you can see, if you keep it like that, it shouldn't be too bad. So first, let's get this this black part, and this will go, you can see it will go here, I think. Like that. Yep. Very interesting how they did this, but quite fun. And now with this red part, this will just slot in here. And it needs to be pushed quite firmly. And that is the first one now all set. So we need to bring back over our dashboard. You probably will see I have done something. So there's my dash, and you can see I have fitted a screen with a ESP32, and I had to move the LED there. Unfortunately, with the screen that would not fit, so I had to sacrifice slightly the LED, but that could be a good thing because now it will illuminate this panel a lot better. And stick around to the end and see this working. So it's easy as that. It just slots in. This is gonna be great. Wow. So that's this part done. So we need to now get the next one. So I believe we need this one. So let's take it out of the bag. These bags are quite handy. Definitely gonna keep them. Or screws and so on. So we need first a silver part. And we need to identify, I believe it's this one. So let's put these to the side for now. And a black one. And a black one, I believe it is, I think this one. Yeah, it's this one. And let's get this now fitted. So turn this over. And we need to get this in correctly. 6 of these, but I think this top one, so yeah, it will only go in one slot like that, and this needs to be pushed in all the way. Again, all these need to be pushed in quite firmly. This one's slightly more tricky, but maybe not. Just trying to line up all of these. There we go. Yeah, it needs to be pushed quite firmly in. And I think we're there. Now with this part, these need to go in this direction. So just like this. I'm really enjoying this pack. Making sure everything's pressed down firmly. Now we need one more part. I believe it's this one. And this should be going in this direction. And it just fits over the screw hole. And need to carefully press this nut in. So that kind of holds everything together, which is very clever. It's a bit scary to push these in, but taking my time. I want to get this pressed in now instead of later. Oh, excellent. And I believe now we need to put a screw hole, a screw through that hole, and that is with a D screw. So let's get that D screw ready. You need to be careful now because you're going through a plastic part that is more delicate, and just get this screwed in, but not all the way. As soon as it bites, just stop. It's just to really hold it in place, and that looks great. So we need to get this ready. For now, this will just rest here, and there's a small slot, just here, which this will go into that slot there. My goodness, this is going to look great. So let's move this to the side, get over our next one. So now this part, but if you need to get this one, which looks absolutely amazing, let's just take this out. So let's continue. We need a few black parts. So this one and this one, and one straight one, which I believe it's that one. And now a silver part, which is this one. So not many parts left. That's excellent. This is quite simple than I thought it would be. But saying that, let's see how it goes now. So let's try to get this one in first. I believe it goes in this direction, and with this hole there, I think this goes just there, like that, and push that through. There we go. That was a bit scary. It's really good. Trying to get a bit of a close-up for you, but a bit difficult. There we go. Excellent. They're like dials, these ones. So next one is this, and I believe it goes in, let's just make sure, this direction, and it will just fit here. Just need to get this in position. There we go. Like that. And that needs to be pushed in now. They are very tight, which is a good thing. But sometimes difficult to push. And making sure. Excellent. Now, let's get this silver part. And in... where are we? This direction. I think there is 2 locating pins just there, and you will see it going just like that. So it's not that difficult really. And now, where are we? In this direction. This bump. And trying to find where would that go. I believe it goes towards the bottom here. Yeah, it does. Okay. So it just goes to the bottom. Excellent. And this side needs to be pushed in, which is a little bit difficult there. I think we need something to push that on to. Let's try that. It needs to be flat, and which that is now. Do the same that side. So there we go. That's all now fitted. We need to get now this part, which looks absolutely great. Very good dash, I have to say. And we need to now get this just here and line it up like that. We will reveal it in a minute. And we need 2 D screws. Let's just get them. So that's the D screws. This dash is gonna look amazing. The mod at the end. I am not making this available, and I stopped doing mods. So let's just get this screwed in again. Be very careful. Just enough until it holds, to have a wobble in it. That's all it needs. The same on the other side. And I think that should be fine. You don't want any wobble in that, and that is not. Let's have a look. Wow. That's great. Goodness me. Let's try and get that close as possible. Focus on the camera's not working that good today. It was about to go. Yeah, you can see. I think that does look absolutely amazing. So now we need to get this onto our dashboard. And with that in place, and making sure there's no cables in the way, which mine seems to be fine. So this post needs to line up just like that. My goodness, wow. And 2 more D screws. Where did I put them? They're just here. And let's get 2 out. And get them screwed in. These cables will be hidden, but I believe that this is only a temporary screen until Mike Lane brings his screen out. Don't want to over tighten that, just so it doesn't have any wobble. And let's just get this one here. Where was it? I believe, yep, here. We're getting there. Excellent. Love that. That's gonna look great. Wow. Okay, so now let's put this to the side. And we need this part. Get in there. And let's just see what we need here. So there's 2 remaining black ones. So this one and this one. I think that is it. Oh no, we will need this. And the 2 red ones. So excellent. So let's get this first one now in place. So turn this over, and in this direction I believe this will go towards the top, because you can see a little cutout that fits just there. So that is towards the top and needs to be pushed again. This one is very hard. We need that tweezer again. Get in there. There we go. Perfect. Maybe this side a bit more. Let's get this nice and flat. And now with these next silver parts, I don't believe it matters which way. I think they're both the same. So that will just go there. This was a bit more looser. Hopefully that won't fall out. Let's just make sure. I think that's okay. And now, with this part, this should be, I believe, here. Yep. And that just pushes again. Clever way to do this. And then these 2 red ones just fit just beneath. I think we need again something to press against that. Be careful with these, because this one's a bit more delicate. Making sure that it's pressed in firmly. I think we're okay. So let's take a look. Excellent. Wow. Really nice dash. Let's bring over a dash. And this needs to be slotted in that direction. And we need 2 more screws, and those are the screws. We need it there. I will switch on the screen at the end, so stick around to the end of the video. You'll see what I come up with. But we will light it up just to make sure it is all lit up. So that's the first D screw. Excellent. That could be one of the most nicest dashes I found. Well, built, I mean. So we have the last part. It is very impressive. I guess we can leave this here for now. And let's just have a look. So the 2 remaining parts. Turn this over, and in this direction, this needs to be pushed in like that. Pressed again firmly. This one is quite tough actually. Making sure that it is, no, that is not the right direction. I thought so. So let's just get this out. So with the post at the top and this side, it should go in this direction. There we go. That's a lot easier. Thought something was a bit strange. And with the remaining red lens, this will just literally go in there. Probably need that bit of help just to push this as tight as possible. Let's be very careful with the more transparent one parts because they're more delicate. I think we're good. And we need to now attach this, and that will go. You can see a groove that will just slide in. That did fit in very well, everything. Great, wow. So one more D-screw, and that will go to the reverse of this, just here. And there's a slight angle. Making sure that's nice and tight. And there we go. And that is our dashboard fitted, which looks amazing. So let's get this tested. I have a lot of lights on, but I'm not going to push this fully in. Let's just see. It is lit up. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. Looks absolutely great. There's a bit of light bleed here. Yeah, you could just see it there. So possibly maybe when the shaft goes down it might be okay, or I might do something about that. Other than that, that does look good. I think that looks great. Like I said, stick around to the end, see me light the screen up and see how it will look. So that's the end of this issue, which was absolutely great. I have modified the screen, modified the steering wheel to make it more screen accurate. So let's move over to our last issue. So this is our final issue in the pack. This is issue 5. I am really enjoying this build. So just a bit more information about Fanhome and the Gostini collectibles. Some information about the film. So we are doing the turbine engine. Wow, we're starting on the engine already. That's exciting. Okay, and that is the final result. And it's about the Joker. That's what we need to do, so let's get on with it. So these are the parts in issue 5. Just cut that open. Each part looks individually packed. Nothing else in here. I do always check. So these screws. And these are all plastic. And that's what we need to get going. So I'm going to move these to the side for now to sort them out. So let's get this started. And maybe that's a bit better, isn't it? So with this facing in this direction and this goes to the rear, just like that. So this way, and we need these two fans, and both of them are marked 1, so that indicates to me that they are both the exact same. So I don't believe it matters. It is a D-shaped pattern that will fit into that groove, and that is the first one. And this is the next one, so you can see again it's like a key-shaped pattern that will slot together, and that is how that should look. So next we have to put this cover on, and you can see there's a slot just there, and you can see where that needs to be slotted in. So we need to just line this up and get that slot into that groove, and there we go. So what we need to do now is get 3 D screws and get them just here. So this is the first one, and that's how that should look. So this is now spinning, but I think that's not even going to be seen, so that's a bit strange, but okay, it's part of the engine, so I guess it's needed. So let's get over the next part. Okay, so we have this cover, and you can see 2 locating pins just here. Let's get this right, and we have to just get these pins lined up. Should be here. There we go. So that's now slotted in, and the last fan, again D-shaped pattern. And which way would this go? It goes this way around, and this one's a little bit tighter. We need to keep this safe so it doesn't drop off, but there we go. That's how that looks. Looks good. 2 more parts, and that brings us to the end of this build. So this is the first one. They are like handles or pipes. So that is the end of this issue, which was very enjoyable indeed. So what we are left with is this part, which are extremely well made, all nicely turned metal, and yeah, be very careful with these because they are very sharp. So that's this part, and perhaps we could go here because we had also in this pack this board, and I'm going to show you my steering wheel, which that is a massive improvement. That's how it should be looking, so really happy with that. So there's a few mods done to this, and the star of the show, our dashboard. So what we can do to power it up, I do have a power bank, and there we are. It is lit up. So I'm not sure if you are able to see that, but that looks a lot better, I would say. Maybe on another camera. Let's see this camera. Bit of focus, please. There we go. So I think that looks absolutely great. massive difference. And I did make this animation myself, so I'm really happy with how that looks. That is a big difference. If you like to agree, don't have to agree. But I do like how that turned out. So with that said, I would like to thank you for watching. It was a great build. If you could do us a massive favor, if you could hit that thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, that would be great. Look forward to seeing you all next time. Thanks a lot.